Hello friends, I'm so glad you could join us today, especially because I'm very excited that we're doing the very first of our series of mini makeover sessions featuring women like you and me who are 50 plus. So if you're 50, 60, 70 or beyond and would like to see a fun makeover with makeup tips and techniques especially for you, please stay with us. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Elise and I'm a professional working makeup artist who's passionate about helping women like you and me who are 50 plus look on the outside how we feel on the inside so we can look and feel our confident best. I make videos every Thursday, and if you would like to be notified when a new video is up and running, all you need to do is subscribe, hit the subscribe button below, and click on that notification bell, and that will notify you whenever a new video is available. And thank you so much in advance if you choose to do so. Hello, we're delighted that you could be with us, and I am delighted also that my guest can be with us today. Kathe has joined us, and she has come a long way, so I really appreciate it. Kathe and I met, it was a little bit over a year ago,
yes,
I think.
Yeah.
Kathe was an officer at a women's group organization, and they were very kind to invite me down to make a presentation about makeup for women 50 plus, which was a lot of fun. What a great group of women.
It was really fun.
I really met some very nice people, so I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. Kathe has had some really interesting experience with eyebrows, so I want her to talk a little bit about that. But we talked about what she would most like to focus on today, and we ended up deciding on eyes. So we're going to play a little bit with some eye makeup. But first, I'd love Kathe to talk a little bit about what her experience has been with her eyebrows, because I think a lot of people are going to be able to relate to that.
Well, when I was born with a large birthmark, so they radiated my face back in the 50s before they knew what radiation could do. And so that has actually caused me to have several recurrences of basal cell carcinoma. But it also meant that my right eyebrow was pretty much non-existent. So I've tried using dyes, I've tried pencils, none of them worked. I finally found a good friend who was an RN that was a great tattoo artist, and so she tattooed my eyebrows on for a couple of years. But that was an expensive proposition, and then I moved from that area, so I was reluctant to find somebody again to go through all that. So I actually found something at Sephora and Ulta that they have, and it's called K-Brow, and it's a cream, and it's put on with a brush, and you can control it so well, and it lasts. I mean, it lasts all day long. It's an amazing thing, and it comes off easily. I love it. It's amazing. I mean, it's less problem for my brows than I've ever had.
You know, it's interesting because I think a lot of people aren't familiar with the fact that there is a cream eyebrow product. Mm-hmm. Some of them dry out, but you said yours does not, which is great. That's really good to hear.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I think people are a little bit intimidated by it because I think it's hard to know how much to put on initially. So you have it down. So I'm excited to have you show folks how you approach it and use it.
Yeah.
But we're going to start first with the eye area. And Kathe has gorgeous eyes. Not much we can do to improve, but we're just going to add a little bit of shadow and a little bit of eyeliner. And first what we're going to do, now do you have are your eyelids oily at all, Kathe?
No.
Okay. We're going to and close your eyes for me for just a minute. All of us as we get a little bit, you can open this, okay? All of us as we get a little bit older have a little bit of discoloration on our eyelids, either, blue veins or, different color categories that are going on.
Right.
So I think what we're going to do first is we're going to start off with a product that's an eye primer. And I have very oily eyelids, so if I don't put this on within 5 minutes of putting eyeshadow on, they're a hot mess. They smudge and they crease and everything. So, and by the way, I did sanitize my hands earlier.
I watched you. Yes, okay. She did.
So we're going to put a little bit of this on first, and before I do that, I'm going to put my glasses on because otherwise it will not work at all. So I'm just going to lift Kathe's the skin on her. I hope my arm is not blocking you, but maybe it won't on the other eye when we do it. But I'm just dabbing a little bit of this on first, and what this is going to do is even out the skin tone under Kathe's eyes. so that when we put eyeshadow on, it's going to be even all the way across. And this is a cream. It'll take a couple minutes to dry. I want to make sure I just get it all the way down to the lash line. Okay, and as you can see, I'm putting it up to the eyebrow and out the outer edge as well as the inner edge. And if you want to just look toward the camera for a second, you see the difference in how your eyelids look in terms of one having a very even color because of the eye primer. And also, some women, and I know I do this occasionally, if I don't want to take the time to put on eyeshadow, I'm running out the door, I need to get somewhere in a hurry, I will sometimes just put on eye primer just because it brightens up that lid area. And because I have a lot of discoloration, that makes a huge difference. So I can just put on eye primer, a little mascara, and that sometimes, well, it could look better with eyeshadow, but if I'm in a hurry, that's usually enough. And so that's an option with it as well.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it works really well. So if you can turn your head just a little, perfect, and I'm just going to do this eye. And Kathe has a beautiful amount of lid space to work with. So we're going to let that just sit for just a second.
Okay.
And while that's happening, I'm going to pull out some translucent powder. You can use pressed powder. This happens to be loose powder. And then I'm going to take a brush, and because we're going to be using powder eyeshadow, and I just put a cream on your lids. If I didn't put a little bit of this powder on before we put on the powder eyeshadow, the eyeshadow could tug a little bit and pull because we're putting two different kinds of formulations, one on top of the other. So this way, by putting a powder on, it will make the powder eyeshadow just glide on. So you have you close for me. You don't need much, and again, this is translucent. There's no color to it whatsoever. We're going to have fun playing with purple today. Kathe is a definite autumn. I think all of us probably remember Carol Jackson's book from the 80s about Color Me Beautiful, where we were either a winter, a spring, a fall, or an autumn. And Kathe and I are absolutely opposite on the color scale because I'm a winter, Kathe's an autumn. So it's going to be fun to play with autumn colors as we do this. Now, while that sets, we can go ahead and you can use your eyebrow product, Cabrow. It's from Benefit.
Pull that
Pull over. Excuse us. We're going to pull over a mirror so Kathe can see what she's doing here.
The one thing I can tell you about Cabrow is that the colors actually come out dark. This is the lightest color they have. So, kind of interesting. So all I do, because I have a lot of spaces in there and I have some gray in my eyebrows, is I just take and I just give it a couple of little splotches like this. If I hit anything, I just hit it there. Just give it a little bit of pizzazz. And that's it.
So you don't even have to use a spoolie to blend it in, it looks like.
Nope.
Wow.
But if I want to afterwards, I can take a spoolie and brush it up and give it a little more and it'll stay up.
Okay, so it acts as a gel too.
It does.
Oh, a 2-in-1. I love that.
It's great. The one thing you have to do though is you have to take care of the brush because the brush gets, it gets gunky and you have to clean it up. Yeah.
Do you have to wash it after every application?
No, I wash it about probably every 2 or 3 applications.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, and I need to, like I said, I need to wax my brows, but that's beyond. But that's pretty much. Let me see if I'm pretty even here. This is a better mirror than I'm used to.
You know, it's interesting because a lot of us don't realize how important it is to know where our brow should stop and end
Like right
as well.
here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you go straight up from the outer edge of your nose, and go straight up, that's where they should start. And then, as we were talking about, a lot of us lose the tails for thyroid issues, as you mentioned.
Yes.
As well as, just...
Yeah, if you're losing the tails on your eyebrows, you need to have your thyroid checked.
Yeah, very important. And in order to know where to end those eyebrows, you take that pencil and you go to the outer edge of your nose, to the outer edge of your eye, and where it hits is where, that's perfect. That's exactly where your eyebrows end. Because if they come down too far, it pulls your eyes down, and we're fighting against gravity all the time, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So we really want it to be framing our eyes, so we can, the eyes can be the star of the show. So they look great. And this is a disposable mascara wand, which you can use as a spoolie if you want to.
So you can just spool them up. If you want to add a little more, can just spool it up there. Like I said, I need to have my brows waxed. But you can, but if you want to do more, it'll actually hold it in place.
That's great. That is wonderful.
But you can feel it.
Yeah, yeah. That is really nice.
Isn't it something?
Okay, so the reason I'm so excited about this is because I've been using a couple of other products on the market that are creams. They also call them pomades. And those can dry out. And you said this one does not dry out, which is great.
I work sometimes 10, 12 hours a day, and I come home and my eyebrows are still on and they are not dry.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And you go swimming? They stay on?
I usually don't put my stuff on when I go swimming. I never have tried doing it before. Afterwards.
It probably does. I would imagine it does.
I would bet it does.
Yeah.
Because I usually have to take a makeup remover to get them off.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. That's just a great tip.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
You bet.
All right, so we're going to go in with some purple.
Oh, good.
Ready for that?
You bet.
Okay. I'll show you what this particular product is. This is a line called Viseart. They make wonderful eyeshadows. This is an all matte palette. They do make some all matte palettes. They make some palettes that have a variety of different formulations and textures in them. But I'll show you what we're going to be working with today. If you can see the purple down in that second row from the bottom, it's a gorgeous purple. And what's nice is there's also a white in here. So if you want to just blend and get a lighter shade of purple, you can certainly do. Hi, we're back. We finished up Kathy's makeup. We did the other eye, which is good. Now you match. We did some foundation, and I just want to share with people what we used. This is a product by Eve Pearl, and I want to show you the inside of this because it's wonderful. You have inside, whoops, sorry, that glare of the mirror. You have inside foundation, a lighter and darker version. You have 2 concealers, a blush, and a highlighter and a mattifying cream. So it's a really handy compact. So we used that cream foundation. We used a cream rouge as well in sort of a coral color, which, you know, Kathe being such a wonderful autumn, it just works so beautifully on her. And I wish I could tell you that, whoops, there we go. We used a lipstick that is right about there, which is sort of a corally iridescent look, which looks gorgeous on you. Unfortunately, they stopped making it, which happens a lot with lipsticks. But I wanted to get Kathy's take on what worked for her, what didn't work so well for her, what do you like about the look, and what would you like to change?
Well, actually, I don't think it changed anything. I really like the colors. I love the this Eve Pearl. It gives your skin just such a nice feel.
Yeah.
And it also is, it's got a little bit of a light to it. So it makes you feel not dull at all.
Exactly.
And as you get older, your skin tends to dull out. And that's one thing I'm always looking for is just a little bit of spark, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing that I thought was so interesting is I love the way you did my eyes because I hardly ever do anything that fancy, but they look great. But I really like the tips on the feathering with the lipstick. That was amazing because what she did is she put a little concealer here and then she put a little bit of an e.l.f.
Lip lock
around here so that the lipstick is not going to go where it shouldn't.
No, it's not. It is locked in. That e.l.f. lip lock is such an amazing product because it's like $3. And most products like that you find in upper class, you know, other brands are in the $20 range.
Yeah, it was
so
great.
The way to do it is just sort of stretch your lips and then put the concealer on so it sort of fills in the lines and then keep them stretched and put a little of that lip lock because the lip lock is really white. So if you don't use concealer with it, it will show up as white around your lips. So you want to blend those. No, it's not. You want to blend those in and then a little bit of lip liner. And then it will stay in place. We also used a little bit of Laura Geller's supportive, and I can see the little bit of the glow. Because Kathe has gorgeous cheekbones, I wanted to give her a little bit of glow along here. So we put the blush, excuse me. That's an old term, isn't it? Rouge. The blush going up this way, again working against gravity along the sort of the middle of the cheekbone, and then we put Laura Geller Portofino. It's a cream to powder product, so it works over the cream base of the foundation well. And we just put that slightly above the blush and sort of blended the two, so you have a really nice glow to your skin because of that. And the Eve Pearl foundation, I never thought I'd use a cream foundation, to be honest with you. I thought it might feel too heavy. How does it feel on your skin?
It feels great. I really need more moisture on my skin is very dry, so it's wonderful to have that cream.
Great. Well, Kathe has been so much fun to work with. We've had
It was good.
we could have gone for another few hours, I think.
We could have, yeah.
Because we were talking all kinds of health and wellness things as well. Kathe's a former nurse and still do a lot with anti-aging kinds of things, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
I still work.
Yeah. So anyway, I so enjoyed having you with us. Thank you so much for driving all the way up here. It's about an hour drive for you, isn't it?
Yes, but we come up here a lot.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was great.
Well, it was wonderful having a chance to get to know you a little bit better, too.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. I hope you've learned a few tips. And in the comments section below, if you would write down some of your favorite makeup products, it's always so much fun to share that kind of information with each other. If you have any particular blushes you love especially, or lip colors, again, always love to have that information that we can share for all of us. It helps all of us out. Thank you so much again for watching. We appreciate it. And again, every Thursday, if you want to join us, be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell icon. And that way, you'll always receive notifications of when the next video comes up. Hope to see you next time. Until then, have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye-bye.